When you stay here at Palazzo Priuli, you're actually staying in the 14th century home of the prominent Priuli family. Now, they were a prestigious aristocratic family who were actually part of Venetian nobility. And though this Gothic architectural gem has gone through extensive renovations, there are still so many historical details that really add to the period timepiece of the place. For example, even in this room, there are the original vaulted wood beam ceilings, there is Renaissance-style furniture scattered throughout the property, and you even have wrought iron chandeliers hanging throughout. Plus, the rich colors and the masterful works of art that you'll find throughout the place really add to this feeling of bridging the time gap between old world Venice and today. Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm Travel Lemmings Director of Marketing, and I just stayed here at Palazzo Priuli for one night in the classic room with the Canal View here in the beautiful Castello district of Venice. First, in this video, we're actually going to go back in time to when I first checked into this hotel, and I'm going to show you a full room walkthrough of my classic room with Canal View, exactly what it looked like when I first checked in. Then we're going to come right back here and we're going to do a full review, my highlights, my pros and cons, who I think this hotel is for, and who I think maybe wouldn't enjoy staying here. All of that is coming up. But first, I have to mention that this hotel has no idea that I'm doing this review. Travel Lemming is an independent travel site, and we strive to give travelers just like you honest recommendations about where to stay and things to do in places around the world. However, we have affiliate relationships with all the major booking sites, including Booking.com, so if you feel like you want to book the Palazzo Priuli, use the link down in the description box below. And if you think that maybe this hotel isn't for you, don't worry, I've probably got a hotel here in Venice that would suit you better. I'm actually here in Venice for 16 nights staying at 12 different hotels all around the city, specifically for the purpose of reviewing all of them. So if you want to try out a different hotel, check out my full guide to where to stay in Venice. I also have that linked in the description box below. With that, let's get into my full room walkthrough. Okay. Here we are checking into room 109 here at the Palazzo Priuli Hotel in Venice, Italy. Oh, first impressions. This feels like a very quaint hotel, and the style is so old world, but it still feels very modern, very decadent. But the painting, so let's just take a look over here. Very nice paintings. Very tall plush curtains here. We have a great view of the canal. Let's just linger on this for a little while. Here we go. Gondolas going by, a restaurant. Love the view. Love being right on the canal. Okay, turning around, let's look at the bedside. Oh, these are lights, there we go. Priuli collection, the art of being Venetian. Oh, the bed, this looks incredible. Definitely on the firmer side, I would say. Pillows, they're medium plushness, I would say. They're not flat necessarily, but not the fluffiest either. Which to each their own, that's very much a personal preference thing. So we have robes and slippers here. Wonderful. Let's just take that shot of the bed. So nice. See the other side. Oh, welcome. Just with the Wi-Fi, QR code, breakfast information. I do love they not only have a regular USB, but they also have USB-C here. And then a European plug. So that's nice. Bedside lamps. Oh, I love the art in here. It's so nice. Hello. So much antique furniture as well. This desk is just gorgeous. So we just got into the room. A porter took up all of our stuff, sorry. So this is, let's see if I can open up this. Oh, nothing in there. We have a little mini bar, Pringles, nut mix. Here's the mini bar prices. Oh, that's more than okay. Yeah, $3.50 for a water, €4 for a beer. That's actually one of the most like economical mini bars that I've seen here in Venice so far. This is now the 5th hotel that we're staying at in Venice. So I would say, yeah, compared to the other hotels, the mini bar is definitely, yeah, like I said, economical. A glass of wine for €30 there. Okay. Let's swing around. Here is a closet. We have an extra blanket there. Laundry service. Let's just check out the prices of the laundry service really quick. Okay, so for a shirt, it's about €10, which honestly is pretty standard from what I've seen so far in Venice. That's very much in line with the pricing, and that's just kind of how it goes. Here is the mini bar. We have 2 coffee cups, an espresso machine. We have a complimentary bottle of water. Ooh, these glasses look very, very nice. Wine bottle opener. Here's our espresso pods and creamer. A collection of sugars. And then over here we have teas. All right, here's, a nighttime chamomile tea that I'm going to be indulging in later. English breakfast tea, green tea, and Earl Grey. Very nice. All right, we have a safe. And here's the fridge with a few selections. We have sodas, we have waters, a Cabernet, a Prosecco, beer. There we go. All right, and now let's check out the bathroom. Ooh, this looks, actually, I'm shocked by how large this bathroom is right now. So let's see here. There's some amenities. Hair care, we have conditioner, body cream, wash, glasses, soaps, hand towels, a toilet and a bidet, towel rack. Ooh, and warmer. Those are very warm right now. And a nice big shower. Okay, I don't think you can fully grasp just how big this is right now. Look how tall this shower is. I'm very impressed. Let's just do a quick pressure and water check. There we go. Good water temperature. Good water temperature and great pressure too. I love both of those things. There's more shampoo and body wash. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all. Let's do one more final look at the room here. Okay, now let us kick it back to the main review. All right, so right out of the gate, let's start with the highlights of the Palazzo Priuli and my classic room with Canal View. So my first highlight, we've already talked about style and decor, but I have to stress, if you want to come to Venice and stay in a 14th century Venetian nobleman's house, then really this is the best pick for you. This is actually the 5th hotel that I've now stayed at here in Venice, and really none of them match the historical detail of the Palazzo Priuli. And of course, during our stay, we could totally feel just how old this hotel is, and yet they have totally modern and comfortable furnishings. For example, here in the room, they have the gold framed paintings, there's luscious drapes, the wood beams on the ceiling. It all gives this feeling of really old world Venice, and yet like the bathroom has this beautiful shower with a rainfall shower head. There's completely modern furnishings, so you're not actually stepping back in time. And my second highlight is the location. So Palazzo Priuli is located in the district of Castello, which is just adjacent to San Marco. So we're maybe a 10-minute walk away from St. Mark's Square, the Basilica, Doge's Palace. So you're really not that far away. And yet compared to San Marco, with like, even when I'm here in March, we were like bumping elbows with other tourists the whole time we were in San Marco. Here in Castello, it's a completely different vibe. You're not that far away, but the amount of tourists drops off a cliff substantially. That's not to say there aren't other tourists here. Of course there are. We've met a lot of them. However, it's a much different vibe. Okay, now let's talk about the staff and the service. So when we checked in, we actually checked in next door at Palazzo San Lorenzo, which is literally like 3 steps away from the door of Palazzo Priuli, but that's actually where the check-in is. So let them know when you're checking in that you're specifically checking in for Palazzo Priuli, not San Lorenzo. They are sister properties, so it all works together, but just as a side note there. So after we checked in, the porter then brought our bags over to our room here. We're staying in room 109. And it was all very seamless and easy. We actually even got an early check-in because we're staying here in March. So we checked in as soon as we arrived, which was around noon. So 10 out of 10 on all of that. Other than that, I would say that the service, actually, I haven't seen many other hotel workers while we've been here. This morning when I went out for breakfast, there was the server at breakfast. But besides that, like really the hotel staff is not that imposing. I wouldn't say that doesn't mean that they're not here. They're very helpful. Like when we checked in, the clerk was giving us options for things to do and where to go for like food and stuff like that. But I haven't really seen anybody else since we've been here. So if you need somebody, you have somewhere to go. Okay, so for food, so the hotel actually does not have an on-site restaurant, but they do have good breakfast. So this morning I went up for breakfast, and immediately when I walked into the room, I thought that there was only going to be the very small little circular buffet that was in the room, but that was actually not the case. It's pretty standard European breakfast with cereals. They have pastries, juices, yogurt, that kind of thing. So I grabbed a little selection of that, went off to my table, and then immediately the server brought over pastries, fruits, different kinds of juices, water, and offered me a coffee as well. So don't be alarmed when you walk into the breakfast room. It's not just that first table. They will bring you more food when you get over to your table. Other than that, I thought the breakfast was really good. Also, just a note on food too. So because the hotel doesn't have an on-site restaurant, we actually ate at the restaurant right across from the hotel, which has a beautiful view of the hotel. Definitely recommend that place if you want to grab a quick bite and you don't want to go too far away. And I also want to mention that the hotel actually provides complimentary refreshments in the afternoon as well. So if you go up to the main like breakfast room, like hall in the afternoon, they have a great selection of like little pastries, of fruits. You can have some juices, that kind of thing. They also had really good flavored water. I think we had like a basil one that was delicious. So just as a little afternoon pick-me-up, I thought this was a great amenity. And my third highlight is the view. Of course, we have a classic room with a canal view. And honestly, I never tire of watching the canal from the window of our hotels. And this case specifically, so we're on the ground floor. And so we can see the gondolas going by the canal from our room. It's very picturesque and definitely recommend this. If you're in Venice for just a few days and you want that quintessential view, highly recommend. Okay, so going into the room, our room, like I said, was room 109. The bed is so perfect for me. I think it's perfectly plush yet firm. I have no issues. My back didn't hurt at all this morning. I would say that the pillows are a little bit hard and flat, but yeah, that's my only minor critique of the bed. And I would say that the room is definitely small. So I'm staying here with my mom and we're definitely a little cramped. For example, she's in the bathroom as I'm recording this. But there are larger suites as well, so you can choose what size of room you want depending on how large your party is. I also really like the bathroom. So in contrast to the size of the room, the bathroom is actually quite large and there's a really nice large shower. All of the amenities, like I said in there, are brand new. All of the fixtures and everything are really new and contemporary. And I love the shower, good pressure, nice and warm. There are a couple storage areas for your stuff because it's so small. So there's a luggage rack. There's also a closet where you can like put things and hang stuff up so you're not just tripping over all of your stuff when you're in this room. And there's also a desk. So if you want to sit and get a little work done or maybe plan out some more of your itinerary for the trip, there is a wonderful desk where you can do that as well. And I have to mention the Wi-Fi. Of the 5 hotels I've stayed at in Venice, it has been the best. I'm a little bit of an outlier because I have to upload like massive amounts of media every single day. And the upload speed was so lightning fast. I got all of my uploads done. So 10 out of 10 on the Wi-Fi. All right, so really quickly, let's run through my pros and cons of the Palazzo Priuli. So like I said, I really love this location in Castello. You're really close to all the main sites, but you're kind of out of that tourist like traffic jam. I also really love how they've preserved the history of the hotel. That's a great feature. like I said, the Wi-Fi, and I really liked the helpful yet non-imposing staff here at Hotel Palazzo Priuli. And for my cons, so I have two little nitpicky cons. I would not say that these are make or break kind of things. Like I mentioned, number one is the pillows. These pillows were just a little flat for my liking. You can always ask if you need other pillows or if these ones just make your neck feel stiff or something like that. And of course, my second con is just the size of the room. It's a little cramped. It's a little bit small. Like I said, it's absolutely gorgeous. Even for two people, we feel like a little bit falling all over each other in here. Okay, so who the hotel is for and who is it maybe not for? So I definitely think this is a great hotel for couples. If you're here on a romantic stay or your honeymoon or something like that, it's a great hotel for that. I've also seen a couple families here too. The kids seem to like the breakfast. And of course, you're not going to spend a ton of time in your hotel necessarily. So I think it's okay for families. There are definitely some bigger rooms too if you do have a family to accommodate. And who this hotel is not for. So I would say, even though I said it has really lightning fast Wi-Fi and there is a desk, this hotel doesn't really cater to business travelers. So if you're a business traveler, I definitely think there might be somewhere else out there for you. And if that's the case, make sure to go in the description box below and check out my guide to where to stay in Venice. Like I said, I stayed in 12 hotels. There is definitely another hotel out there for you. And what I paid. So I stayed at Palazzo Priuli, like I said, for one night here in March of 2026. In total, in USD, I paid $292.76, which at the time equated to, in euros, 245.60. And like I said, this was for one night in a classic room with Canal View. I definitely think it's worth the money. I don't think this is extravagant by any means for the history you get from staying in a hotel like this. Too, it is a 4-star hotel as well, so you're definitely not skimping on amenities. I would definitely recommend it. I would say it's definitely worth the value for money. And I have to say, if you're going to book this hotel, please do it as far in advance as possible. For any hotel in Venice, as soon as you know your days, book the hotel. They book out so crazy fast. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Travel Lemming gives independent reviews just like this one, so travelers like you can decide where to stay, where to spend your money, and have a great stay. And if you like this video, you might like this one next.